Gene Deal just broke his silence about the Diddy documentary, and what he's revealing allegedly changes everything you thought you knew about what went down behind the scenes. Remember that Netflix documentary everyone's been watching? Sean Combs' The Reckoning hit #1 immediately, but according to Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard who witnessed everything firsthand, the most important stories never made it to your screen. Gene reportedly sat down with 50 Cent for 45 minutes. They had plans. He was supposed to be a central figure in this documentary, but then something went wrong during a meeting with director Alex Stapleton, and Gene walked away. Now he's allegedly ready to leak every piece of evidence that got left on the cutting room floor. So let's talk about what actually happened in that meeting, because this sets up everything else. According to Gene Deal himself, he tried to put together a package deal. He wanted to bring in 2 other guys who knew Diddy from the very beginning, Tim and Kirk Burrowes. These 3 men together could have reportedly told the complete story, from Diddy's childhood to the street operations to the business empire. Gene allegedly asked for $50,000 for all 3 of them combined. When you consider the footage, the photographs, the clothing, and the years of evidence he claims to have collected, that sounds reasonable. But here's where things allegedly fell apart. Gene says Alex Stapleton, the director, told him that what he was asking for was crazy and that they weren't spending money like that. Gene reportedly showed her invoices proving what other documentaries had paid him in the past. And according to him, she essentially called him a liar. Gene described his reaction during a recent interview, saying something along the lines of, "Who do you think you're talking to?" He went on to explain that documentary makers often tell people they don't pay anyone, but that's allegedly not true at all. If they can make a single photograph worth $10,000 or $15,000, he argued, they can compensate someone for their time and testimony. Then came the statement that allegedly made Gene walk away for good. According to him, Alex Stapleton said directly that 50 Cent does not determine what goes in or comes out of this documentary. Think about that. The documentary has 50 Cent's name all over it. He's the executive producer. He's been promoting this thing everywhere. But allegedly, according to what the director told Gene Deal, 50 doesn't actually control the project. His name is reportedly just being used for promotion. Gene felt completely disrespected. He had risked his life protecting Diddy. He witnessed things that could reportedly fill 10 documentaries, and the director allegedly treated him like he was making everything up. And while all this was happening, according to Gene, Kirk Burrowes was making secret side deals. Gene says he was trying to help everyone get paid fairly as a group, but Kirk was allegedly cutting his own arrangement behind the scenes. That's apparently how the industry works. Everyone looking out for themselves. So Gene walked. He refused to participate. And that, according to him, is why the documentary you watched on Netflix feels incomplete. The man who allegedly knew the most refused to be part of it. Now let's get into the specific stories Gene says were left out, starting with how Bad Boy Records was really structured, because this allegedly explains a lot about how Diddy operated. According to information that Kirk Burrowes himself has discussed, he owned 25% of Bad Boy Records from the very beginning. Diddy owned the other 75%. But here's the twist that Gene Deal emphasizes. The company was allegedly all under Diddy's mother's name, Janice Combs. Why would Diddy reportedly structure his company that way? Why not put it in his own name? Gene Deal allegedly knows exactly why, and the answer connects to one of the darkest chapters in hip-hop history. On December 28, 1991, a celebrity basketball game was held at City College in Harlem. Diddy and Heavy D reportedly organized the event. The gymnasium at City College of New York had a legal capacity of 2,730 people. But according to reports, nearly 5,000 people tried to attend. Members of Boys II Men, Run DMC, Joe Dicey, and Big Daddy Kane were supposed to play. The event was promoted heavily on KISS 98.7 FM. The game was scheduled to begin at 6 p.m., but it didn't start on time. By 7 p.m., hundreds of people had already entered the gym, while thousands more waited in the lobby and outside. The crowd grew frustrated, and then disaster struck. People outside broke through at least one glass door leading to the gymnasium lobby. The crowd rushed down a short staircase toward the gym, but the doors at the bottom of the stairs opened inward, not outward, and those doors were closed. According to reports, the doors remained closed for up to 15 minutes as the crush worsened. 9 people were crushed to death at the bottom of that staircase. 29 others were injured. The victims ranged in age from 15 to 28 years old. Darren Brown, Yul Dargan, Letitia Hurd, Leonard Nelson Jr., Dirk Swain, Charisse Ann Knoll, Jabal Rainey, Sonia Williams, and Dawn McCain. McCain didn't die immediately. She passed away on January 1st, 1992, after being removed from life support at St. Luke's Hospital. According to Gene Deal, Diddy knew those families were going to sue, so the company allegedly wasn't put in his name as a scheme to avoid legal liability. A deputy mayor's report titled "A Failure of Responsibility" later concluded that almost all of the individuals involved in the event acted improperly. In 1998, Judge Louis C. Benza of the Court of Claims ruled that Diddy and Heavy D were 50% responsible for the deaths and injuries. The City University of New York was found responsible for the other 50%. According to the New York Times, Diddy reportedly paid around $750,000 of a total $3.8 million to settle claims made by relatives of the victims. One particularly painful settlement reportedly involved Sonny Williams, whose sister Sonia died that night. According to reports, Diddy paid him $50,000. Sonny allegedly felt like that exchange was a slap in the face, especially because he believed Diddy and Sonia had been friends. The documentary touched on the City College tragedy, but according to Gene, they didn't explain this alleged corporate structure and what it was designed to do. They didn't show how Diddy allegedly used his mother's name to protect his assets from the lawsuits that would follow. And there's a dispute within the documentary itself about what Diddy did that night. His childhood friend, Lee Davis, also known as DJ Easy Lee, claimed he saw Diddy running around trying to save people. He said he saw him trying to give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but Gene Deal remembered things differently. He allegedly stated that he never saw Sean Combs give anyone CPR. According to Gene, if anybody tells you that, they're telling a flat-out lie. Now let's talk about Kirk Burrowes specifically, because his story allegedly shows a pattern of behavior that the documentary mentioned but didn't fully explore. Kirk co-founded Bad Boy Records. He did the work alongside Diddy. He helped build everything from the ground up. But according to Kirk's own testimony that did make it into the documentary, Diddy allegedly showed up one day with a baseball bat. He reportedly threatened Kirk's life and forced him to sign over his 25% stake in the company. Kirk tried to sue in 2003, according to court records, but the case was dismissed because the statute of limitations had passed. Too much time had gone by since the alleged incident occurred. Think about what that allegedly means. Kirk helped create an empire. He was there at the beginning. And according to his own account, Diddy took everything from him through violence and intimidation. Kirk reportedly ended up homeless at one point. Meanwhile, Diddy went on to become a billionaire off the company they allegedly built together. Gene Deal says he could have explained this entire scheme in detail. He could have shown how Diddy allegedly used his mother's name to hide assets and avoid legal consequences. But none of that deeper context made it into the final cut. Now let's talk about Anthony Wolf Jones, because this is another story the documentary barely explored. Wolf wasn't just any bodyguard. He was Diddy's right hand, his protector, his confidant. According to reports, Wolf came up in Harlem, New York, where his street smarts and no-nonsense attitude earned him a reputation as someone you didn't test. When he linked up with Diddy in the 1990s, Bad Boy Records was at its peak. Wolf was there for everything. He was with Diddy on December 27th, 1999, at Club New York in Manhattan when gunfire broke out. 3 people were shot that night, including a woman named Natanya Rubin, who was hit in the face. Rubin has maintained for decades that she watched Diddy fire a gun that night. She testified during the trial that she saw him pull out a black gun with his right hand. She said she saw muzzle flashes and then felt like a flaming hot sledgehammer had hit her in the face. Diddy and Wolf were both charged. Diddy faced gun possession and bribery charges. The prosecution alleged he tried to bribe his chauffeur $50,000 to take the blame for a gun found in their getaway car. After 22 hours of deliberation, the jury acquitted both Diddy and Wolf on March 16th, 2001. Rapper Shine, who was also there that night, wasn't so lucky. He was convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But here's where Wolf's story takes a dark turn. Less than 3 years after that acquittal, Wolf was dead. On November 11th, 2003, at around 4 a.m., outside Club Chaos in Atlanta's Buckhead Entertainment District, dozens of shots rang out. Wolf and another man from the Bronx, Lamont Gertie, were both killed. Police found $5,000 on Gertie's body and $7,000 on Wolf's. A man named Demetrius Flannery was arrested and charged with 2 counts of homicide after being treated at a hospital for gunshot wounds to the buttocks. The name Demetrius Flannery might sound familiar. He's better known as Big Meech. the co-founder of the Black Mafia family. According to reports, tensions between Wolf and members of BMF had escalated, leading to that fatal confrontation. For Diddy, the loss of Wolf was reportedly devastating. He wasn't just a security man, he was family. He was a part of Bad Boys Foundation. He knew secrets. Gene Deal allegedly has information about Wolf that never made it into the documentary. He was there during those years. He knew Wolf personally. He reportedly witnessed the internal dynamics of Diddy's security operation, but none of those details made the final cut. Now let's talk about Kim Porter, because this is where Gene Deal's allegations get really controversial. Kim Porter was the mother of 3 of Diddy's children. She passed away on November 15, 2018, at her home in Toluca Lake, California. She was 47 years old. The Los Angeles County coroner ruled her death was from natural causes, specifically lobar pneumonia, a severe form of pneumonia that affects a large portion of the lung. But Gene Deal has publicly questioned that finding. In an interview with the Art of Dialogue podcast, he allegedly claimed that Kim's death was never properly investigated. He pointed out that all of her electronic devices were allegedly missing when she was found. Her laptop, her cell phones, everything she could have used to contact family or friends if she was in distress, all allegedly gone. Gene also questioned why Kim allegedly received a massage shortly before her death if she had full-blown pneumonia. His exact words were reportedly something like, "Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia?" Gene has made other allegations about the relationship between Diddy and Kim. He allegedly claimed that Diddy physically abused many of his past girlfriends, including Kim. According to Gene, one night when they were at Kim's house, Diddy wanted to put his hands on her in the wrong way. Kim allegedly defended herself by taking a corkscrew and ripping his wrist open. It allegedly hit an artery, and Diddy had to rush to St. Luke's Hospital. Gene also allegedly claimed that other bodyguards told him about incidents where Diddy gave Kim a broken nose and black eye. Now, we need to be very clear here. Kim Porter's family has publicly denounced these conspiracy theories. Her children issued a statement calling such claims false and painful. They've asked for their mother's memory to be respected.